And that means it more than qualifies as one of the world's mega factories. Let's take a look. To keep up with massive demand, particularly in the UK, this state-of-the-art facility in Wigan, England, must transform 350 tons of these into more than 500,000 cans of baked beans in just 6 hours. Kitt Green is the largest processing factory in Europe, and it's designed for one purpose alone: canning food at a phenomenal rate. It's 8 a.m, and in the factory's loading bay, staff are overseeing the delivery of the raw product, dried haricot beans. In charge, manufacturing leader and lifelong baked bean fanatic, Graham Suter.
These beans have travelled from North America. This is the final stage of their journey to become one of our tins of Heinz beans. We're processing up to 350 tonnes a day. We blend that with 500 tonnes a day of sauce to make around 10 million finished cans.
The first stage in the transformation into baked beans is the grading process. Weeding out whoppers manually would take time and manpower. The solution? A giant automated moving sieve. Only the right-sized beans fall through onto a conveyor belt. All rejections go for animal feed.
It's time to actually blanch them now. We're looking to add between 50 and 60% water into the dry bean. At the end of that process, we'll be ready to send it downstairs into our filling department to be mixed with the sauce.
But first, the beans face one last tough selection hurdle. And it involves cutting-edge laser technology to make sure the beans are all the same colour. Terry Morrissey started working at Kitt Green over 40 years ago, long before anyone thought of using lasers here.
What we used to do to get the bad beans out is it was too hot in a spoon. And we get a little lug box and take all the black beans out, which was really boring, laborious.
The modern alternative, the laser beam, checks every single bean for imperfections. If it finds one that's the wrong colour, the bean is simply blown off the production line. Above the factory floor is a top-secret area. It's here the baked bean sauce is mixed to a special recipe they've kept under their hats ever since the first production line in the USA more than 100 years ago.
There are only 2 people on site that know the full recipe, and I'm not one of them.
Back on the factory floor, just 90 minutes into production, the beans in their secret sauce are being sealed in cans at a rate of more than 13 every second. At this point, they're still just beans, but they're about to become baked beans. And amazingly, they're baked while in the can to 120 Celsius before being cooled again to prevent discoloration. And although the factory is almost entirely mechanized, there is one critical job left that can only be done by humans.
Even though so much technology now at Heinz, this comes down to the human part, the nitty-gritty, that's the taste. This is very important because we're the last line of defence. If things are not right here, it could go out to the public. Everything all right, Graham?
No problems at all, Keith.
Can you stand the sheet, please?
I can, yeah.
We're actually looking for sour or musty taste. So that's why we do a taste every 2 hours, so we can pick up anything that's not right.
2.5 hours after the dried beans first hit the production line, the finished product is speeding into the labelling and packaging hall.
So far, since the start of this shift an hour ago, we've produced 52,972 cans. Just under 53,000 of those have been accepted, giving a rejection of 30. That gives us 99.4% success so far this shift.
In just 6 hours, one of the world's most high-tech food processing plants has met its astronomically high daily target, a feat that only a mega factory could achieve.
Looking just a job, I think.
Yeah, right, good, yeah. What I really like about these factories is just the speed the machinery goes at. It's a blur, it's beyond what you can follow. It's absolutely amazing.